On today's Fish Shells episode, I'm going to be using the Aqua-View Strike View underwater camera. I'm up here in Little Bay Denok, some clear water. I'm hoping to see some cool activity underwater with some pike, maybe bass, walleye. I'm going to be using one on each side and trolling the drop off at different depths between maybe 10 and 20 feet. And this is just such a cool camera. I'm looking forward to getting it out for the first time. This entire camera is completely waterproof and enclosed, so you have a magnetic attachment that charges it and also connects your computer. So you just connect it to it, and then when the water touches the magnet, the light's gonna flash blue slowly, and then you know it's on. And then to turn it off, you just simply dry the magnetic connection to point it to the sky, and in a few seconds it turns off. So this is pretty cool. Hopefully we get some action and see how it works. Right now the main line is hooked with 50-pound test braid to the camera, and then I have a ball bearing swivel that's attached to that, as well as it says 6 to 18 inches for leader length. So right now I'm going to say this is probably 14 to 16, something like that. A little longer on this one. I think the other one's maybe 12 to 14 inches, and that's 25-pound test fluorocarbon. So hopefully if a pike hits, I'm not going to be losing my lure, but also if something was to break, the camera wouldn't break off. This would, because it's a lighter pound test on this side. So I think we're ready to go. The other thing I'm going to be adjusting is the depth and kind of figuring out how much this affects the trolling depth as the drag is in the water from the camera. It might bring it up a little higher, that's my guess, and we'll have to add a little more weight or drop it a little bit further back from the boat as we're trolling. Just seeing it next to the boat, I can see how it rides, but as I drop it back, it looks like it's dropping kind of quickly in a hurry. It also records in 3-minute intervals, and it puts those into files for you to put on your computer, so you don't have to just filter through and have like one super large file. So we're going to be out here a few hours, so we'll have a few hours of footage. So the drop off comes up on my left side, so I have this one running about 5 to 6 feet shallower, and then this one I have the 1 ounce weight dropped back about 30 feet. One thing I'm excited about is seeing how these lures work underwater, seeing how the fish react to it if they're coming up, checking it out, maybe not hitting. Another thing I'm really looking forward to is just getting a sense to know really what's going on underwater, like you would with a, you know, ice fishing camera that you see underwater as well. You can learn a lot. So looking forward to checking out these spoons and the fish when we get back, and I'll add that footage, of course, to the video. We got a fish? We got a fish. Yes, first fish. And we got the camera, and we got little pikey, liking the triple threat lures. Get over here. He's gonna jump. That's cool. We'll get to see how long you were following. That's it. There's the triple threat lures, little glow on that. Not that it's dark out, but sometimes that extra flash and extra light helps. And we got a little chunky pike. Sweet. Let's keep at it. Maybe we'll catch another one. Well, caught that first fish, and this was a short leader. This one was probably 12 inches, and it's pretty cool to see that they're hitting spoon with a camera in front of it. They're just seeing this flash, and this is what's in their nose and in their face. Check the leader, and we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and put on this deep diving crankbait from Nocqua. It's a smaller size, it's the baby Chippewa, and hoping that this bigger lip will help dive that Aqua-View Strike View camera down a little deeper without any weight, and just kind of using it a little more cleanly. So let's see what it looks like next to the boat. All right, pretty good. Just pulled up that Nocqua crankbait and there's no weeds on it, and again I had that fish that seemed to be pulling drag, so lost one. It'll be interesting to see what that fish was, how big, how it was lost, if it just, you know, was clipping at the back hook or something like that. So another benefit of using a strike view camera is the fish you miss or the fish that are following that don't even hit, you're able to get a sense of what they are and what their moods are. Ooh, there we go. Come on. Oh, another miss. Come on. I was going real fast because the weeds got high, so I wanted to bring it up a little shallower. And I was probably going 3.5 miles an hour and he hit. We got one? We got one. And this was the Nocqua crankbait. Awesome. I wanted to see that one get eaten today. Sweet. And he hit like 25 feet of water. He's back there. I'm gonna get this weight off. And what did we get to eat the Nocqua? Another pike. They are hungry and curious. They don't mind a camera. There he is, northern, caught on film. Can't wait to see what that looks like. Maybe how long he was following, perhaps how many times he swung and missed. There's that Nocqua and pike. I was completely astounded to come back after 2.5 hours of trolling, where I thought I had 2 fish that I caught and 2 that I missed, to see how many fish actually followed and hit my lure that I didn't even notice. Check out these clips. This was a pike that literally hit the lure, didn't even know it. Another one definitely had it in its mouth. Again, they love those spoons from triple threat lures, but I think I need to be sharpening my hooks a little more often. There was some perch right there. Some fish took multiple swipes at it, like this one. Super aggressive. I might have been tending to other rods, perhaps, when some of these hits were happening. We had a school of fish here that I don't even know exactly what kind they are. Your guess is as good as mine. I was thinking maybe some kind of a shad or a gizzard shad, but they were coming after the lure definitely, and you could see on this next clip, same fish, same type of fish. It was, you know, darting at it and trying to eat it and had it in its mouth. Had bass, smallmouth, smacking the lures. Again, these are all during that 2.5 hour, besides the 2 that I caught and besides the 2 that I showed already that I missed. There's a big walleye nosing up to the lure. Followed it for quite a long time. I trimmed that clip shorter. It was actually a lot longer that he followed it. Now we got a drum that ate it for a moment. Just didn't quite turn on it, some of these fish, to get a good hook set while trolling. Some of these fish really did follow for a long time. This example just shows that bottom and how clear that camera video is, and then while I was dragging on the bottom and I was too deep, you could see a school of walleye just swimming beside it. Some big ones. There's one that's going to come up on the top of the screen. It's just sitting above it, curious on what the heck was being dragged on the bottom as I slowed down and had it too deep. Now we show some of the other lures I was using, like the crankbaits. Another walleye. Came up to it, just not super hungry. pike, taking a little look at the camera. At the time I wasn't moving very much, tending to maybe a fish I was catching, and there was a bass that came up and thought about eating that twitch bait. Then I switched to Longleg Custom Tackle spinner bait. Again, another curious follower. And this one was a big smallmouth. That was a pretty good sized spinner bait. Definitely another aggressive fish there on the pike with the spinner bait.